Bruno rubbed shoulders with Prime Minister Kevin Rudd at the weekend, and last night the gay Austrian fashion reporter attracted a large crowd in Sydney for the premiere of his first and probably only movie.
Bruno is, of course, the latest creation from actor and comedian Sacha Baron Cohen, the man responsible for Ali G and the Kazakhstan reporter, Borat. 10's entertainment reporter Angela Bishop nervously took Bruno into her own hands yesterday, and she joins us now. Good morning, Ange.
Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Very well.
And did he have an explanation for this outfit last night? It seemed to be sort of part Knight of the Round Table and part Cher.
Or part Lady Gaga, I thought.
Well, a knight in shining armour coming to rescue us from boring movie premieres was what I was calling. They were certainly nothing if not exciting, in that he turned out into the middle of Market Street, Sydney, which, as you know, is one of the central streets of Sydney, just after peak hour, and the media went bananas, the public went bananas, everything was closed off, and there he was with his horse, some very heavy metal sort of draped around various parts of his body, with a codpiece that actually had a serious malfunction later in the evening.
Really?
Oh, do you have a shot of it?
Yes. Fortunately, no, it's not something I'd show you. It could be dangerous.
There was, as I understand it, a bit of a false start last night.
There was a bit of a false start. This was truly bizarre. And I have to admit, first of all, the buzz was that possibly it was the chaser. What had happened was a giant pink Hummer pulled up and a Bruno lookalike sort of hopped out, accompanied by a bunch of dancers, and everyone thought, oh, this is part of the entertainment and so on and so forth. And, you know, and then they suddenly sort of spilled tomato sauce all over the place. And this was, you know, Bruno's podium, the erection where he was due to stand later, and suddenly it was all covered in tomato sauce. So there was a bit of an issue and an immediate clean-up. But I suppose the most surprising thing was actually what the Bruno lookalike said into his megaphone when he first hopped out of the car, because I was just standing there minding my own business with the other journos when I heard this.
We're Angela Bishop. I saw Angela Bishop earlier on, and she gave me this massive horn. And here are my hot chicks. This year's hottest chicks are covered in peri-peri. He's got his man hands all over me. Oh, dear. Let's go, guys. Get them off.
Oh.
A little something I didn't need to hear while I was hard at work, yes.
Exactly. Well, what's the story behind that, Ange? I mean...
It's...
Sorry, go on.
It was a bunch of people flogging Nando's, believe it or not. They've even put out a media release this morning explaining that they've watched the way Bruno works, and he pulls stunts on people, and so they'd watched all his premieres around the world, couldn't believe that nobody had thought about it sooner, and decided to pull their own stunt at his premiere and garner whatever publicity they could out of it. And there you go, we've just given them some.
Absolutely. And you know what? More credit to them. Very clever move, wasn't it?
Exactly, exactly.
And your involvement in all of that, Ange?
I was none. I was just an innocent bystander wondering why the hell my name was coming over a loudspeaker at that particular time. But there you have it.
All right, let's move on. You also had a rather intimate chat with Bruno yesterday, I hear.
Yes, went to his hotel room. It was interesting. He'd had a bit of a media call earlier in the day where he debuted another outfit. We've all been fascinated by what he's going to wear. So the first thing he turned up in earlier yesterday was a wonderful little school uniform outfit, and I'd love you to have a look at this. Inspired, we think, by Angus Young from AC/DC. You know, a little bit school uniform, a little bit cheeky. He's probably in a bit of better body shape than Angus is just at the moment. But yeah, you remember we were talking last week about his lack of hair, his lack of body hair, and how his very close friend Sacha Baron Cohen, who once played Borat, was quite an hirsute man, and Bruno, on the other hand, has not a follicle to be seen. And when you see him up close, he's very, very, very smooth, I must say. So, and it turns out that waxing is his depilatory method of choice. But look, when he first arrived at that media conference, he had a very nice excuse for being fashionably late. Here we go.
I know you've been waiting a long time. I just want to apologise. The reason I'm late is I just had breakfast in bed with Kevin Rudd.
I have to ask you an Australian fashion question. It's very important. Who gets it right, Kylie or Danny?
Kylie, she's like a Barbie doll that's been shrunk a little bit. Whereas Danny's like a Kylie doll that's been left by the radiator for too long.
Oh, he's got all the lines, hasn't he? Yeah.
So
he does indeed.
What was he like to interview?
Look, he's very caring. He's very sharing. You know, he gives a lot away of himself. He'd obviously formed some sort of very close bond with our Prime Minister the night before on Rove, and I think the nation witnessed that. He had something going on. He'd formed a crush, if you like. And everywhere I met him yesterday, whether it was at the media conference, whether it was in his hotel room, or whether it was later last night, he really could not stop talking about the Prime Minister, Kevin Rudd. Going so far as to suggest they were again going to catch up later, and that Kevin was going to pick him up on his motorbike, not his ute. I thought his ute might have been nice, to take him out on a yacht for a look around the harbour to see some private coves.
Oh, all right, heaven forbid. All right, well, let's talk about the movie then. What did you think? Is it a winner?
Look, as long as you're prepared to be shocked, offended, and have some really outrageous laughs and squirm in your seat more than a few times, you're going to love it. You know, think back to your Borat experience. Was that something you can cope with again?
Oh, David struggled with that one, didn't you?
Oh, he makes me feel so uncomfortable.
Well, there's a lot more of that, and dare I say, David, a lot more of that in this one, I've got to say, particularly from possibly your viewpoint, a bloke's viewpoint. But look, some things you thought you'd never see. Probably didn't particularly want to, but you're going to, and you're going to learn about them. Look, one scene has been removed from the film, and that's a scene involving Michael Jackson. I know you talked about this yesterday a little. It wasn't an offensive scene in any way. It's simply that it's just not appropriate for it to be there anymore, given the current circumstances, and the movie's not going to lose anything as a result of it. Look, I loved it, but again, some things I never thought I'd see, and they really do burn into your memory.
Burnt retinas, I love that. Thank you so much, Bish.
Thank you, Anne.
Thanks, guys.